Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris Wilczewski here. This weekend we were at Ultimate Obstacles up in Massachusetts. It was a unique course to say the least, so let's take a look at it. We're going to be using the first place runners video to establish the course again. Here we have Lucas Real struggling a little bit on the first obstacle, a little slip up. They're calling this the swing around. Basically, competitors had to dodge that red mat and then go straight to the bar. From here, a weird over-under sequence called the Weaver. Seems like it would be pretty tough. It's a little awkward. It's a little bit taxing. It's one of those ones that I feel like if you were actually there would be surprisingly difficult, surprisingly wear you out. And you're going to see that this is a consistent theme throughout this course. So the next obstacle that Lucas is coming up on is the 150-pound lift. Seems like some pretty heavy lifting for ninjas. Ninjas aren't typically known for the ability to lift things like that. Coming up after that, this is more traditional style obstacle. We have the tube-tastic. So it looks like you were allowed to get the swing going before making that little lache to the next one, and then a pretty simple dismount at the end of tube-tastic. Following up tube-tastic was rock-a-bye board. This is kind of like a variation of the floating doors, except you can see he's got little foot ledges at the bottom there and a little cliffhanger type ledge at the top as well. He was going to use those to get right onto this board, which I'm guessing is the reasoning for the name of the obstacle. And you can kind of see it's almost Beastmaster-esque in the sense that he's got to build up a swing using that board. Kind of unique there on the bungees with that big dismount. Following that up, we go back to a little more traditional obstacles. We have the spinning swinger. It looked like obstacles that kind of rotate. We've seen this before at Apex. You throw the PVC over the bar and it gives a nice little spin, so you have to catch with that cross grip. Following up that obstacle, we're going to see the wheelie tough incline. So we've seen a lot of balance tanks obstacles this year. This one's a little bit unique in the sense because you actually have to bring it up that incline there. It makes it a little bit harder than the traditional balance obstacles. Following up that, we have the Power Ranger climb. To be honest, I'm not quite sure why they mentioned or named it the Power Ranger climb, but anyways, you just go straight up this wall with a series of holds. Following up that, though, is going to be the Log from Hell, and named this for good reason. You had to sprint full speed at that wall over there. Definitely a little bit of a ridiculous obstacle if you ask me. If competitors were lucky enough to survive that obstacle from hell, they would move on to the ultimate cliffhanger. It looks like your basic stand-of-the-mill running cliffhanger. Following up that, competitors would tackle the trampoline salmon ladder. So they would go up 2 rungs, drop to an hourglass drop type trampoline, and then bounce to a block. Second to last obstacle, competitors would tackle the warp wall. It looked like they had a shortened run-up compared to usual. Finally, the last obstacles competitors would tackle would be lucky number 13. So competitors would use those 2 nunchucks to develop a massive swing to throw what looks to be a pretty far throw to that cannonball. And then from there, they had to make sure that their swing was straight before dismounting to the red platform. Again, that was an awesome run by Lucas Real. He was able to get first place, completing all the obstacles with a time of 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Unfortunately, the second place run by David Kavanaugh was misplaced, so we will not be able to cover him. So jumping into third place, we have Eli Chevalier. So Eli was able to make it through 10 obstacles before he ended up going out. His time was 3 minutes and 47 seconds. He went out on the 11th obstacle. He overshot the trampoline jump. Unfortunately, our cameraman did not catch it, but you can see the aftermath here. Moving over to the women's division, we had Danny, who was able to make it through 6 obstacles with a time of 4 minutes and 7 seconds. It ended up being that uphill balance tank that ended up taking her out, that 7th obstacle. Coming in second place for the females, we had Casey Rothschild. She was able to make it through to the same obstacle as Danny. However, she made it there about a full minute faster. She ended up going out in almost the exact same fashion. That uphill balance tank looked to be a little bit trickier than most athletes thought. Finally, coming in first place overall for the females was Alyssa Beard. So Alyssa was able to actually get to the exact same obstacle as the other 2 top females. She ended up going out on that balance tank as well, that uphill balance tank, just proving to be too difficult for any of the female athletes in this competition. So that wraps it up for this week, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back with more National Ninja League action soon.